Welcome to today's video. Today's video is on how to approach a woman. This is a requested video and I thought it'd be a great topic to touch up on. I'm going to give you a couple tips. I'm going to throw a couple tips your way if you are a man and you're watching this and you are, really struggling to find the right person. I'm going to help you find the right person with these tips coming from a lady, okay? Because I know a couple things, all right? Chicken wing. There is power in knowing what you're going to face before you go into it, right? It's like going for a job, okay? Because that's essentially what you're doing here is you're going for a job interview. The moment you approach the person is the moment you're about to be interviewed by this woman. She won't tell you that, okay? She's going to look at everything. She's going to look at your eyes. She's going to look at what you're wearing. She's going to see if you have bad breath, okay? So that's very important. Make sure you show up clean, have good hygiene, brush your hair, wear the right clothes, have a smile, be positive, be genuine, be able to hold a conversation, which gets into a whole different conversation of avoiding being on your phone. I see a lot of men where they're on their phone and they text away when they're with somebody they're about to ask her out, and then they expect to get a second date, but they can't because you were on your phone the whole time. So don't underestimate the power of eye contact, physical, interactions, FaceTime, all of these old school things that seems to be uncommon nowadays, unfortunately, and it will make you stand out. Okay? When you see somebody, you're trying to approach them from the distance, what you can do is typically she's going to like the superficial comments. Oh, you have beautiful hair. Oh, I love your nails. Oh, you're so sweet. All those little things will help warm up to you. Okay, because that's obviously the hardest thing. Typically, is trying to get her to warm up to you, and that's typically where the fear comes from. You have that fear because you're afraid that she's going to reject you because you didn't do your job to get her to warm up to you, right? So you have to do your job and be the sperm and swim to the egg and get her to be receptive. How do you get her to be receptive? You get her to be receptive by being genuine, being a good person, being kind, and being, upfront with your intentions. I plan to make probably a separate video on little things like important little gestures like hygiene, okay? Making sure you brush your teeth, making sure you floss your teeth, making sure you brush your hair, making sure you wear clean clothes. You don't have to wear fancy clothes, making sure that they're clean, okay? Being, presentable. What kind of words are coming out of your mouth? How do you talk? Okay, all those little things affect you, okay? And she will pick up on that and she may never tell you because she's being a nice person. She's trying to give you a second chance when she shouldn't be giving you a second chance. Thing is, if that doesn't work and you don't want to go up to her, what you can do is get her like a written note, okay? Women like romance, not all women generally, but pretty much women are gonna appreciate a man that will take the time to maybe write a little story or write something to her and explain to her how you feel. Okay, she's going to like that. So if you can do that, let's say you're at a restaurant and you see this girl, maybe you can take a little napkin and write on that napkin and maybe write your number and then give it to her. Or you can basically go in cold turkey and just straight up ask her, hey, do you want to go out with me so you can subscribe to Yelena's YouTube channel and fulfill all my fantasies? No, will undermine the effects, okay? Simply going up to her and saying that you think that she's XYZ. You notice that she, is wearing, a t-shirt from the University of California or I don't know, Nebraska, how you really like the football team there, right? And then boom, you could start up a conversation. Or maybe you don't want to go down that route. You want to be a little bit more of a romantic. You can say how beautiful she is or how smart, how smart she seems, right? Maybe, and if she's a jerk, she's probably going to say, oh, well, what do you mean I look smart? What is that supposed to mean? Because I know some women are rude. Okay, some women are going to tell you that. And that's not the type of woman that you want to be with anyways, okay? Going to be like that. She's going to be a jerk. Then you're better off not talking to her. But yeah, like going up to her and saying like, hey, I think you're beautiful. I think you're this. I think you're that. I will take you out sometime. Boom, right there. If she's not interested, then you can look at her eyes. This is why texting can be very dangerous because you can't see those things. Okay, with texting and with the virtual technology, it's hurting a lot of people, and that's why there's such an epidemic in today's day and age where people are having trouble kind of dating. And it seems it's also the woman, it's not just men, it's both ways. But for men, I noticed that it's often because of that, the texting, or perhaps being lazy, right? Not calling her, instead of calling her, you're texting her. Instead of, ringing her doorbell, you text her, I'm here, right? Like, no, you get out your car, you go to the door, you ring the doorbell, or you knock on the door with some flowers, and you tell her, this is for you, let's go on our date. Okay, that's effective, it works, and she's going to notice those things. The right person, the right woman's going to notice those things. Now, you may have to go through 100,000 trials and tribulations until you find that right person. Okay, but you won't find that one right person if you give up. So you have to be persistent and consistent and intentional with what you're trying to do. Just like how I'm intentional with growing my 30-inch biceps. Okay, you have to be intentional with dating. Okay, so if you want this woman, then you got to show up with clean clothes, floss teeth, brushed hair, deodorant, and huge biceps. No, but yeah, that is probably the most effective thing. Some women are going to be more, forward. Okay, like for me, I went up to my first boyfriend and I was like, I thought you were really cute when I first saw you, and yeah, if you ever want to go out sometime, let me know. And it worked, and that was the key for him to come and get my biceps and get my pec muscles and suck my biceps. No, but some women are not going to do that. Some women give you the eye. She's going to look down, she's going to look up. That's cute that she likes you. Or maybe she keeps making eye contact with you, or you kind of feel like she likes you. Okay, those are all cues that she's like, hello, come talking to me. Okay, and you have to go do your part and go talk to her. Don't just sit there and say, oh, well, she won't like me. Oh, no, she does. If you think she won't like you, then she definitely will not like you. Okay, you have to have that confidence. Now, you may be saying, oh, well, I don't have the confidence. Well, if you don't have the confidence, then you need to act. There's a thing called acting, right? You got to act like you're confident. Smile and just force the eye contact and pretend that you are like, the man of God. I don't know. You have to act confident, okay? Because she won't know. She will not know. Okay. You can fool her. Okay. It's fair game. She's probably fooling you. Now you may be saying, oh, well, Yelena, I tried all those things and I still can't find a woman. I'm still single as a Pringle. I'm still mingling and I just can't find her, Yelena. What should I do? What am I doing wrong? Well, the first thing you're doing wrong is you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, because over 50% of the people that watch my YouTube channel are not subscribed. And the second thing you need to do is you need to make sure you get your attitude in check. And the third thing you need to do is you need to figure out what kind of woman you're dealing with, because not all women are the same. Not all women are the same. If she shows a little bit more skin, you know what I'm saying? She shows a little bit more skin. She may be a little bit more fun. She may be a little bit more flirtatious. Then you can approach her with a little bit more of a flirtatious or fun tone. But if she's more conservative, she has a blouse, she's blousy, because she's a good girl, then you can approach her in a more serious tone, right? Demeanor, right? You can approach her with a more intellectual way of presenting yourself, okay? Because she's probably more than likely going to be more receptive than if you are a little more too laxed. Okay. Now it depends again on the context, because every woman is different and people are just multidimensional and people are very complex. She may be actually very serious, but just that one day she's showing some skin because she's ready to get some fun on. But obviously use your judgment and use your discernment to decide, what kind of person you're dealing with.